Hi, I'm Chef Pants, and today I'm going to be building the AMT Studio Series TIE Fighter. That's pretty cool, huh? I want to make this model kit as close to the filming miniatures as I possibly can, and there's a few ways that we're going to do that. One of which is we need the correct paint colors, and that's why I ordered the Archive X TIE Fighter paint colors. And that's not all we're going to do. There's a few things in this model kit that a lot of other people have done, which is great, but we're just going to be doing things a little bit differently. For the majority of this build, I think we're just going to sort of hang out and build it. So let's get going. Now, would you believe it, but back when they were filming the original trilogy, they didn't have a sculpt of a TIE fighter pilot. What they had, I think, was like a race car driver or something from a different model kit, I'm pretty sure. And we'll come back to that later. But this TIE pilot, pretty amazing. My goal is not to make a super amazing, high quality, super detailed model of a TIE fighter with, you know, weathering and the whole 9 yards. I want as close as possible to what they used to film the original Star Wars trilogy. And funny enough, the figure inside the original model was just painted gray, which is exactly what I'm going for. It's looking very good. Beautiful. Our pilot is in. That is the body of our TIE fighter. Gotta say, this model kit, I'm liking it. Where the hell's that piece? Hang on. I missed a step. No! Before anything, let me just see if this can fit in. Of course not. Ugh. It's fine. Everything's fine. Just nice and gentle. And that's why I didn't glue it. What the heck, man? I'm talking to myself because I didn't pay enough attention to the frickin' instructions. Almost colossally screwed myself. Yeah. Alright, cool. Yeah, that makes more sense. Alright, let me triple check these frickin' instructions. Boom, boom, did that, did that. And then it comes down to all that. The other thing that now that I have this apart that I really want to do, and this is being a little bit cheeky, create a rear mounting point for a rod. And you may guess, if you're a super nerd like me, why we would want a mounting point at the back of it as opposed to the bottom. Because
why?
Yes.
Let's do that right now. What I do have is this, which does fit. So this is kind of crazy. I happen to have the correct size for the rod. Although it's not going to be 100% accurate, it will give me a mounting point. That's awesome. So now I've got it mounted inside of there. That's great. I love it. It's all coming together. I really shouldn't have. I keep jumping ahead of myself. glue all these up in a time lapse. Alright, this is dried and this is where we're at. Now, it is starting to get very hot in here, despite the air conditioner going. So, my plan of attack is finish the body, in which we only have a few more things I need to attach, and then call it a day. Alright, it's a new day. But it all feels so... I was editing some of the footage and I thought to myself, this blue just looks like super dark compared to everything I see online.
Why are you blue?
And then I ended up taping off some of the sections, and I realized it's just the values of what's around here that's really throwing me off. I think that this is close enough. This is where I want to be as far as the blue goes. Now, our center here is almost done. One of the things that I would really like to do is get all the decals in place, because I have a lot of fun with water slide decal placement and everything. It's something that I find very tricky but very enjoyable. So I think I'm going to do that. I believe the placement and everything is on one of these boxes. Yes, the front and the back. And I think we're going to do that in time lapse. So all my decals are now done. That was a lot. A lot more tedious than I thought it was going to be. Next step, I think, is going to be getting the wings set, because we've got to glue some pieces, paint them, then glue the other pieces, and then, or paint the other pieces and then glue those pieces on. But before we do that, I want to show you this.
Oh, wow.
If you happen to be a super nerd, you already know what this is. If not, this is a replica that I 3D modeled of the filming blue screen pillar that they used in the original trilogy to film the miniatures. Now, I'm pretty sure that the originals had a light mechanism on the inside that would illuminate the blue to compensate for the shadows. I'm not going to be doing that this time. But this now has a coat of filler primer. We're going to be sanding it perfectly smooth and then painting it blue. So that's the plan at the moment. I'm going to set this aside for now, because that'll be the last thing we do. It's wing time. Ta-da! This may sound silly, but I'm trying not to pay attention to how cool this looks. Boom. Now all that's left are these side details, which I don't think I'm going to permanently attach. Yep, they just slot right in there. Dang! That looks awesome. Here's my attempt. Our TIE fighter may be done, but the project is not. We need to sand this. Man, that is awesome. Alright, let's go paint it blue. Here it is. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but I think the blue is fairly good. Paint itself is still a bit tacky, but I wanted to get it on the base before we do anything else. Boom. All right, another new day. That's what I'm told. Our aluminum rods did not come in until last night. So right now I'm going to see how much we need to bore the inside of these rods to slip over this. I also need to find out exactly how short I need to cut this. So let's do that. Oh, it's perfect. It is literally perfect.
Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
All right. All that's left to do now is attach the ion cannons. The ones that come with the kit are completely clear and they are not accurate in the detail. The ones on the original have sort of like these 4 walls that hold onto the LED, almost like it's like a vintage Christmas light bulb or something, like on a Christmas tree. That may have been what they used. I need something that's just a bit better. So I went ahead and I modeled and 3D printed my own. I am going to try and grind down this LED so that it can fit into there properly. I'm gonna move our big guy out of the way for now. We're not quite there, but that's fitting a lot better. All right, that's looking pretty good. Now we fogged up the LED because we sanded it, but once we add a drop of super glue, that's all gonna go away. All right, LED number 2. All right, LEDs are done. Now let's mix up a bit of paint. The way in which that just drops in is awesome. Is that not just really, really cool? Okay, that went about as good as it could have gone. Let's add some glue. Look at those. Not only are they awesome, they are also mine. They're my little touch to the model, which for the most part is literally just the AMT model kit. But those cannons are my little contribution to the accuracy of the model. It's done. That is awesome. That is wicked cool. Again, it's The model itself is not exactly studio scale. It's a bit smaller. But this, I'm glad we made this. This has been sitting on my shelf for like the better part of 2 years. And I literally could not be happier. I think my blue may be a little bit too dark. It definitely looks a lot darker on camera than it does in real life. All right. Now we're going to do a shot with it. So I'd like to start off by saying that this is one of the funnest model kits that I've ever put together in my life. I mean, the amount of attention to detail and stuff that AMT put into this model kit in particular just sort of blows my mind. The other thing that it really made me appreciate was just how much time and effort and work that all the amazing talented model makers who have replicated the studio scale TIE fighter from scratch just through their own research and the countless amount of hours and dedication that they put into discovering all the little tiny pieces from other model kits that went onto the TIE fighter. But I don't just want to talk about this. I want to talk about this, the motion control system that I'm filming this on right now is nowhere near as complicated as the original was, that they had to literally invent for Star Wars. The Dijkstraflex, which was the motion control system that had to film passes of the miniatures just like this, which we just did multiple times to actually achieve the practical special effects for the original films. And to me, that's half of what makes this TIE fighter so cool, is that it's a physical representation of not just a TIE fighter, but all of that, everything that we have because of those leaps and advances in filmmaking. I love this thing. But this is going to live in my office for a while, and eventually I'm going to put some shelves up here and have it displayed with a few of the other things that we'll be making. But thank you so much for watching. I'll leave you with one more, okay? This is going to be so bad.